YouTube. So I'm just going to get started. So I wanted to do, um, I've been meaning and wanting to shoot a video, but I don't have time to like edit it and all that stuff. So I figured I would just do a live. So I don't know if people are on right now. It's Friday. It's um mid-afternoon. Most folks are probably working, so I don't know if people will be on right now while I'm on here, but I just wanted to get this video done, so that's what I'm going to do. um okay, it looks like someone's watching. If you're watching, say hi, because I love the interaction. um but so if you guys are on here, I'm assuming that you probably enjoy the social medias, right? You might TikTok, Instagram, um, Facebook, Threads. I haven't tried Threads. And what is Twitter called? X or something now? Anyway, you probably have your favorite social media things. So you might have seen the new um well, I don't want to say new because it's probably on its way out, but the viral trend of people saying like I'm a black doctor, so of course, blah blah blah, and then they list the stereotypes that get cast on them or the things that they always hear. So I did one, and another single mom by choice did one, and I just looked her up before I went live so I can remember her name, and I think I forgot it. I think it's Life with Alexandra K, something like that. I'll try to um, maybe link to hers in the comments when I'm done. But anyway, so I did one over on Instagram, and I am going to post it over here in my shorts, but in doing so, it made me realize like I had more I wanted to say than just, a few comments in a quick little Instagram reel or YouTube short. So I wanted to do a video to talk about how we can better compliment and support our single mom by choice friends. And really, I think a lot of what I'm going to say is going to apply to like moms, period, right? Um, so the one that I did, I only did 3 statements because I needed to be quick because kids been home for a lot of days with the snow and stuff. Hey Danielle. Oh, you said you can't pronounce my name. My name is Arlett. Arlett. Thank you for asking. Um, so I used to start all my videos more properly, so I'll do a little intro. So I am Arlett Hartie, blogger and joy strategist from chasing-joy.com. That's my actual website that I don't post on too often these days. Um, so I did my Instagram reel for the little viral trend last week, and I did my 3 statements. So I said, I'm a single mom by choice. So, of course, I am so brave. And I'm a single mom by choice. So, of course, I am just so, so strong. And I'm a single mom by choice. So, of course, no one knows how I do it. Right. So, those are like the top 3 compliments that I receive from people. And what I said in my caption to the reel, and I'll eventually get it over in my YouTube shorts. But what I said in my caption is wow, when people say these things, like I know they mean well. So I received the compliment as intended. However, I said I want to challenge your thinking. And the reason I want to challenge the thinking is because whenever I get these type of comments, part of me cringes inside, and I'm going to explain why. So whenever, I'm going to admit, or I won't say admit, but like choosing to be a single mom by choice is not a choice that is for everyone, right? However, we all make choices every single day that are not for everyone. We do what is best for us, for our life, for our goals, for what brings us joy, what we want to look back on our life and, and hopefully not have regrets over, right? So while this choice was right for me, it might not be right for other people. But that doesn't necessarily, and these are just my opinions, mean that I am any stronger or any more brave than any other woman, especially any other mom. Okay. I just made a choice to do this. And if the choice is not for you, that's fine. It doesn't have to be. But when people say stuff like this, I'm going to say it others me or makes me feel other. Like it somehow, I feel, takes me out of the category of, let's say, a good mom. Because I feel when I hear that compliment, most of the time they're saying it because they feel like I'm a good mom. But when they say it in these ways, it's like they're taking me out of the category of good mom and othering me as like some kind of weird, um, non-typical, strange mom being, right? And I know that's not the intent, but that's the feeling. And then what it translates to is people, a lot of time the people saying this are the same people who I would love to probably have more support from. And it feels like they're like, oh, you're so strong, you're so brave. I don't know how you do it, as if I don't need any help. And that is not the case because we all need help, right? So I would much rather, and I see 6 people watching. If there's any, I'm sure people have different opinions, but I would much rather hear a compliment that more closely ties to whatever is making them think this. Like, oh, wow, you're such a good mom, or wow, you manage your time so well, or wow, you juggle all these responsibilities, but like something that speaks to what they're seeing that doesn't like other me like I'm any stronger or have it any more together than any other mom out there, right? um because I really do, I feel like, and then it makes people feel like, oh, you got it all, you don't need no help, you don't need no support, you don't need me to check on you. So we had 2 snowstorms last week. Nobody checked on me. Like no one. And I'm not saying it to complain. Like if people see this, they'll be like, do not feel bad. That is not my intention. But I think because people have these labels like, man, she's so strong, she's so brave, she did this thing, that like I don't come to mind when it's like, oh, maybe I should reach out and see how she's doing. Maybe I should check on her. Like that's a lot of snow and she's with 2 little kids. Maybe I should say, hey, y'all good over there? Or, hey, this big storm's coming. Do y'all have any rock salt? Which I didn't, which is my fault. But hey, life is busy. Um, so I just, whenever people say these things, to me, it just translates to this is why I feel like I have to fight in a way to have more support and more community. I have talked on here before about the importance of having a village. And that's for anything, not even just like being a mom. Like we're not intended to go through life by ourselves, right? So we all need support systems. We need friends, who and family, but I would say friends, like people that you select, and that could, you can select friends from your family group who care about us and who can understand some of our needs and what's going on in our life, and that we can feel safe being vulnerable with. Like we all need these types of people, and you got to work sometimes to get them. And I feel like it's a never ending pursuit of a support system. And then when you have children, you need those support systems even more. Now, I will say, being a single mom by choice, um, your support system might have some unique challenges in that you're a solo parent. So automatically, I don't have a other side of the family, right, for my kids that I can reach out to There's no other grandma, grandpa on the other side, no aunties on the other side who could help. So already down a half, right? So it just takes more work. But I feel like these labels of brave and strong, and people say, "Oh, I just don't know how you do it," just really kind of other us. And even if we saying it to other moms, like just speak to what you're seeing. This making you have that thought, like, oh, I don't know, like I could never do it. Now, the flip side of that, I do think some people, when they say, I don't know how you do it, are thinking like you crazy. And that's fine because this path is not for everyone. But then I feel like if that's the place that you're coming from, then you don't really need to pretend that you're throwing me a compliment, and you could just go ahead on about your business, because what decisions have been right for me are right for me, and I don't expect them to be, right for everyone else. So that's kind of what I was feeling while I was like, when I saw the trend, I was like, oh my gosh, I definitely want to do a video, because these are the compliments that I get, where I would much rather just get the compliment like you're a really good mom. That's like the best compliment, when you're doing something and someone, or you're in the midst of something and someone says that. And it doesn't happen a lot, because I can actually remember times when it's happened. So that tells you it doesn't happen a lot. But I was in the Wawa, which is like a convenience store, gas station type store, very popular in Philly. I love Wawa, right? So we're in the Wawa, me and BJC. So he's 5 now. So we go in the Wawa. And he's, and I'm trying to tell him, like, don't be touching stuff in the store. Here's what we're buying. Just take what we're buying. He's touching everything. And I said to him, I said, listen, and I was exaggerating because I wanted him to listen to me. But I was basically like, hey, you keep touching stuff I'm telling you not to. These people working here, they're watching you, they're going to think you're stealing, because you're in here, you're not buying it, and you're touching, and you're over there, you're picking it up, you're touching it, they're going to think you're stealing. And he was looking at me like, what? And a lady in the line, she said, good job, mom. She said, you're doing a good job. She said, don't address things as they should. She said, you're right. And it just, like, I felt seen and I felt supported by this stranger. And she didn't go overboard. It wasn't a long conversation. That's the gist of what she said. But it was like so nice of her to say, good job, mom. She, it wasn't like overboard or anything like that. So I don't know. I would just much rather receive those types of compliment. Um, Now the other aspect is I'm a Black woman, so I don't know if this strong, you're so strong thing impacts white women the way it might impact me. But as a Black woman, we have carried the label of strong Black woman for probably decades, probably as long as I've been born, at least. And it's not necessarily a bad label. I do feel, however, in recent years we're realizing, and I say we, maybe as a society or a group, I would say at least in the circles that I tend to socialize in, how this label of strong Black woman has done us a bit of a disservice. While on the one hand, it's a badge of honor, on another hand, we are carrying too much stress, too much emotional um, weight, too much mental work, too much supporting way too many people, because we're so strong, right? So I think some of us are backing away from that label. You'll notice trends like soft life, um, women talking about stepping into their feminine energy, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like as a Black woman, probably the you're so strong thing would maybe hits me different than it might a mom of a different race. I don't know. I can't speak to them. I can only speak to me. But yeah. So, like I said, when people have said these things to me, most of the time I feel it's from a good place. a complimentary place, and I received a compliment that way. I'm never going to like chastise somebody who's trying to be nice, right? Or be ingracious. But I just wanted to challenge people's thinking a little bit, especially if you care enough to like actually watch this video, right? Um, and I think a lot of what I'm saying probably applies to other moms. Like we see mom, like, and everybody's situation is different, right? So, um, so one of the things that I've heard and I've repeated is if you want more support, right? You want more social support or encouragement or whatever it is you feel you want more of, then you need make an effort to be more of that for other people, right? To kind of I guess lead by example. So I was feeling some type of way that nobody reached out to me to check on us during these snowstorms. And so I was like, well, let me check on my friends, my mom friends. So I text like two of my closest mom friends and was like, how y'all doing? How y'all making out? And we all had, was like, well, we hanging in there, but we all had like, we have unique situations. So I'm a single mom by choice. My one friend is married. They have a blended family. And my other friend is married and just has one child. So, and one with the blended family is 4 kids altogether. So we all have different struggles, but guess what? We was all struggling. All of us was struggling during those days home, trying to work with kids at home, kids with cabin fever, can't find all their winter gear, feeling like bad moms because you can't find. I couldn't find baby sister's mittens for her to go out in the snow, so I had to put sandwich bags on her hands and then socks over top to keep her warm and dry. And then my friend, she couldn't find some stuff for her son. My other friend, she couldn't find her own stuff. And but the point is we was all struggling and all in different ways, and we have completely different um family structures. But none of this is easy. And I'm not saying it to complain because I am so thankful. If you've been watching this channel for a while, Danielle, I feel like you've probably been around for a while. I'm not sure, but you know how hard I had to work to become a mom and how much grace I feel God has extended me to allow me to have 2 children to raise, right? So I am not complaining about being motherhood in that context, but I am just acknowledging that this shit is hard a lot of the time. And like we need support and encouragement. And regardless of our family type, we all be struggling. So I don't like to hear the language that kind of others me outside of um just being a mom in general. Especially I work so hard to be a mom to then get these compliments that make me feel like I'm different. You know what I mean? But yeah, I reached out to my friends and we was all struggling. Like that week was a hard week for all of us. And we have spouses, some have spouses, some don't. I don't have spouses, they have spouses. um those spouses, play different roles in different family. Everybody got their own gender roles and things like that they adopt in their families and who does what. But like it just wasn't easy for any of us. So I just think we need to support each other more. We need to check on each other more. We need to encourage each other more. And when I say, and I mean moms, and if you are watching and you're like in a thinking of being a single mom by choice, or you just like to watch um, my channel maybe, or motherhood related content, like reach out to the moms in your circle and check on them, see how they're doing. And I'm gonna say, especially if they have small kids, because that's what I have. And so I know what that is like. I don't know too much about. I got a slight glimpse when my niece lived with me, and she was when she lived with me for about 3 years, from when she was 18 to 21. So I got a little glimpse of what it's like for bigger people are taking care of adults, semi-adult kids. But for the most part, like I'm in the trenches with small children, so I know what that's like. So reach out to moms, right? See how people are doing. If you in their neighborhood and you're going to the store, text them, hey, I'm about to go to the Target that's near you. Do you need anything? Because you know what? It's hard running errands with small kids. It's getting easier, because BJC is 5.5. He cares a lot about that half. Because we would have never been in that Wawa if back when he was like 1 or 2. I just would have just not had got what I needed rather than have to take him in. So running errands is hard with little kids. So hey, reach out. Hey, I'm going to the supermarket. Would you want me to order anything for you? Um, how y'all? I know it's a 3-day weekend. Y'all doing all right? Just reach out. And like I said, when you see things that you feel are good, give encouragement, speak to it, tell the moms that they're doing good, that they're a good mom. And you don't have to say, like, oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it. Because, a lot of time my answer would be like, I don't know either. Like, we just be getting by. Um, and we don't often feel strong. A lot of times, if you are a more independent personality, which I would assume that a lot of women who choose the solo parent or choice mom, single mom by choice route are probably a little more independent. If you're that type of person, you probably carry your stress very well. And a lot of times, unless you're falling apart, people might not know how um unwell you really might be. I see a therapist every single week, and I have for a while. And this is not my first therapist. And I've talked about that before too, because I need the extra support. So when people are like, oh my gosh, how do you do it? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I do it. I don't feel like I'm doing it that great a lot of the time. So just you're doing well, you're doing good. My brother has said to me before, you're doing a good job. Like that. I remember that. That was helpful. That was encouraging. That made me feel better, a little more confident, a little less unsure of, am I messing these kids up? Are they going to turn out okay? Those are things um, that I worry about as a mom. And I feel like I'm probably not alone in that. So, anyway, it's been 22 minutes. And so I didn't want to be too long, but I had more to say. I had more to say on the topic than just the little viral trend thing. So I'm going to post my short over here now. I wanted to wait till I did this video because when you post your short form content on YouTube, you can link it. And so I wanted to make sure that it was a reel for Instagram, but when I link it here, I wanted to link it to this video because I had more to say on the topic. So, yeah, so that's just what's been on my mind. I have some comments from Danielle. I'm going to go back. Um, she's thanking me for saying how to pronounce her name. She says, yeah, people could say a lot of superficial stuff. I'm not a mother, even though I want to be, but I say comments to people every now and then to be morale boosters. Who knows who could use it? Yeah, like definitely. I mean, I think I'm an encourager by nature. So yes, definitely give people compliments, words of encouragement. But I feel like let's just be more um real about it and not so superficial. Like take a moment to think about what you're seeing and how it's making you feel, why it's making you want to give this compliment or this word of encouragement. And like say something that's meaningful and not something that's like cliche. You know what I mean? All single moms are strong. All moms are strong. You know, I don't know how you do it. Like me neither. I don't know either. Thanks. Am I supposed to say thanks to that? Like or, and then oftentimes people will say that one. I don't know how you do it when your kid is being more challenging. So it's like, is that encouragement for me or a critique of my kid? Which don't sit well, probably most moms. So, like I just want to challenge people's thinking to let's just be more meaningful and more thoughtful. Words matter. When I went back and did a little intro, I talked about my blog and I really like writing. I miss it. I haven't had as much time since I was lucky enough to become a mom, and it's busy, 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 and exhausting, exhausting, exhausting. I don't write as much, but I like writing, and I like words, and word choice matters. Like if you're a person who likes to write, you will know, you will sit there and think about what is the best word, to use for what I'm trying to, convey. So like words matter. So like let's not be, shallow of thought and superficial and cliche, and like let's try to be a little more intentional with especially if you're speaking of people you genuinely care about. Danielle says you didn't subscribe into my channel to the last one. Oh, well, thank you, welcome. There's probably another Danielle that I probably have seen in the comments in the past. Just a couple of my videos popped up in the search over the years. Okay. Well, good. Let the algorithm do what it's going to do. Make sure you like this video. I'm glad you subscribed. Maybe do the notification. I always forget to tell people that. Like, subscribe. Um, the viewer count keeps fluctuating between like 3 and 6 people watching right now. I'm sure people are at work, so I appreciate those of you who are watching. But if whoever's watching, you could say hello. I'd love to chat for about 4 more minutes before I get off of here. And don't forget, please thumbs up the video, subscribe if you're new, turn on the notifications, and leave a comment because that tells the algorithm that you want to see more of me. And I think that I was thinking about this too a few moments ago. Well, before I started the video, a lot of my videos is probably just me talking lately because when the kids are there, like so loud and crazy and mommy and me to death. But I've been trying to upload more shorts. So I think you're probably going to see more footage of them in the shorts because I can catch them in the moment. And when I do post the reel, you'll see like the funniest part of the whole reel, right? Of the trend is one scene, like one clip, I'm walking and I have this bag on my shoulder, and I'm literally only walking from our TV room to our living room. And if these kids don't start running after me, like I was about to leave them forever. Like when I look back at the video, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so like dramatic, but I'm happy they love me. Hi, is it Sherrietta? Hi, thank you for watching. Danielle says, I found that it is better to just admit if you don't know what to say and or do to help. Yes. Yes. Um, yeah, and like you don't always have to offer if it's not in you to help, but if you want to be helpful, you can say, "Oh, I'd love to be more helpful. I don't know what you need." um, so I would say, so if you have moms in your life, because Danielle says she's not a mom yet, but she would like to be. If there are moms in your life that you would like to be more helpful and supportive of, do some of the things like I said, like just reach out. Hey, just checking in, how you're doing. Um, I know, like I said, those snowstorms, like I know you snowed in with the kids. Y'all making out all right? Are they driving you crazy? Like I'm here if you need a place to vent. That kind of thing is helpful. That doesn't cost you anything, cost you some time. It might cost you a little emotional labor, depending on how empathetic, you might be. Sometimes hearing other people vent can make people feel stressed. But yeah, if you're in their neighborhood, hey, I'm going to be in your neighborhood. Did you need me to bring you anything? I'm heading to this store. Do you need anything from there? You can just, and you don't have to offer to pay. You can say, if you need anything, my cash app is this. If you need anything, if you need me to grab you anything from the store, because a lot of time it's just the logistics of getting things done, and it costs so much sometimes for like delivery. Like I used to do the Target delivery all the time, like when kids were really, well, when I had in newborns and stuff, because it was just hard to get out. But then you got, once you pay everything, and then I don't think there's a delivery fee with the Target app, but then you got to pay for a tip, and it just adds up. So stuff like that I think is helpful. If you're a person who likes to babysit, and maybe especially if you babysat before, offer. I have only one person, and that's my kid's godmom. I'm like, she's so awesome. Like, I'm reminded regularly that I made a great choice in asking her to be their godmom. But she's the only person who will volunteer. She'll say, hey, I can come by this day if you want to go to the playground or something. Or, hey, I can take BJC. She recently took him to the Please Touch Museum because she saw they were having an exhibit that she thought he would like. Stuff like that. Like, that's super, super helpful and supportive and encouraging. Because sometimes as the mom, you feel bad, like when you have to ask for babies and sitters and stuff like, oh, because, people are probably busy and they have to take time out of their day. So if you can offer and then when you have your own free time, say, hey, like, I'm free this date if you want me to watch the kids, and you can get out the house, or you can take a nap, or you can have just some time to yourself. I can come by and play with them and keep them entertained, or whatever. So stuff like that I think is super helpful if you don't know what to say, or how to help. So I don't know. So anybody else have anything to say or questions before I sign off? It's Friday. Ooh, it's 4:15. This is the first day since I think this is the first day this year, and today is January 26th, that I have had some hours to myself in my house without my children, and I didn't have to like be running an errand. I mean, I still ran an errand, but like I didn't have an appointment, like a hair appointment or a doctor's appointment or something like that. I just got to be in my house. So I spent some time cleaning, and like I ate a meal and it was still hot and it was quiet. um, I watched some YouTube videos that I didn't have to worry about the language of the people talking because there's no little ears around. I just enjoyed some time to myself, and I wanted to do this video before they were back, and like I said, we'll be interrupting and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go because I want to do a bit more straightening up and stuff before they come home, and then wreck it, which is I'm sure what they're going to do. Oh, Sherrietta says, can I recommend a sperm bank? So I don't know. Okay. I don't know if Sherrietta's message came up because it was hidden at first, but then I think I said for it to show. Can I recommend a sperm bank? So there's only a couple of things that I haven't been like really open about. So I haven't shared which sperm bank I used, and I did not share my fertility clinic because I did want to keep a couple things to myself in terms of privacy. Because if you go and look at a lot of my videos, I've been extremely transparent. But sperm banks that I've heard of are, I think Fairfax and California Cryobank. But I feel like you can Google them. And what I did, so the reason that I went with the sperm bank that I went with was two reasons, and maybe I could do a separate video on like how I would recommend a person choose a sperm bank. So one, I was going to a fertility clinic. So I asked the fertility doctor, what sperm banks do they routinely get sperm from? Because I did not want logistics issues with the sperm bank and like how they ship the stuff. And a lot of sperm banks will require like a medical form from your doctor. So I didn't want any logistical issues, like with them not knowing how to do the form and all that. So I asked my doctor, who did they recommend? And then they listed a couple names, couple sperm banks. And then from there, as a single mom by choice, I was part of I think it's just called Single Mom by Choice website, community website, and they have forums, which I haven't been on in a long time, and a newsletter. And in their newsletter, they will offer discounts on the plans with the sperm banks where you can pay to see all the profiles and stuff like that. So I went with one. Okay, they got a discount. I can see the profile. It's one of the ones my doctor recommends. And me being black, it's like, okay, do I see any black folks on here? A very few, but I would, it was enough for what I needed. So that's kind of the steps I took. I know there have been some women who, whether they were single mom by choice or if they were partnered but not with a man, they but they wanted to do at home insemination. They went with a sperm bank that would be willing to ship sperm to their house, because not all of them will do that, but I know some will. Geet says hello. Hello. So, basically looking at what you need and seeing what sperm banks provided and make sure that you're not going to have logistical issues, because, it costs a lot for sperm. You're not really just paying for the sperm, you're just paying for all the testing and quality control and all that stuff. But then they have to ship it, and like the last thing you want to do is like spend $1,000 or something on some, or more probably now, on some sperm, and then it like not be received by your doctor or something like that. So that's what I recommend for how to choose the sperm bank. Anybody else have anything before I go? Thank y'all for coming on and chatting. It's much more fun to do a live when people are watching and you can chat with each other. Oh wow! So she's Sharietta. Hope I'm not messing your name up. She says she found a donor at Fairfax and it cost her $2,500 for the sperm. Was that for one vial? Wow. Danielle says she watched her nieces, great niece, and nephews in the past for free, and I find that some mothers are not as appreciative and took it for granted. That's true. That's true. So you gotta, trust your gut instinct on that. If you don't feel you appreciate it, we all, we go where we're appreciated. We should anyway. Um, so that's unfortunate. I know it's very few people that I trust to hand my kids off to, and I'm very appreciative whenever they can do that, because I don't get out a whole lot. Wow, so the 2,500 was for one vial. Was it like IUI, like wait, what is the quality? The like the premium IUI premium sperm, I guess. Greet is talking to me from India, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning there. It is 4:20 in the afternoon where I'm at. Greet. So, okay, the IUI premium sperm. Yeah, I know that kind was more expensive. Um, Man, the prices go up. What it what was it? Was it Fat Joe? The price today, tomorrow's price is not today's price, something like that. Everything just gets more and more expensive. So, but anyway, that's my 2 cents. So let's be thoughtful and meaningful and sincere, and when we're giving compliments to people in general, and not be superficial and cliche. And let's make an effort to like encourage and support each other, because we weren't really supposed to do life by ourselves. Even if we choose to not be married, we're supposed to, humans are, um, I don't want to say communicable because that sounds like a disease, but we are species that are meant to live in communities. Like, we're not supposed to have to do everything on our own. So we're supposed to work together and help each other and encourage each other and support. So, if you feel like you've been taken for granted in your circle, continue to do the work to build your support system. Because we all need one, and it is work. It is work to put yourself out there, to meet new people, to find people who, you can mesh well with. It is work, but it is work that's worth doing when you make some of those connections. So, all right, y'all, I gotta go. Thank y'all for joining the live, and stay tuned. I'm gonna post my short shortly, and then y'all can see me doing my little take on the viral trend. Alrighty, y'all. Bye.